Hello and welcome to our first June book video. I am so glad that you are here with me today. When I first recorded the June Reads video, I thought my schedule last week was going to allow me to record a video on Friday, post it Friday night or Saturday. On Thursday, I realized there was no way that was going to happen. So I did not get this video recorded or posted last week. We are going to make up for that now. Thank you for understanding. And this morning, I was like, I'm going to make my load to carry to work so much later. And for some reason, I thought that the best way to accomplish that was to leave my tripod at home. So I have the camera propped up differently than normal. And that's why we're set up in this unusual format, but I hope you're okay with it. Let's move on to the book. So if you watch the June Reads video, you know that this month I am reading books that I've wanted to read for a while, whether that while is a couple of months or a couple of years or more. And these books have a main character who is working through a challenge, whether it's a physical illness or a mental health crisis or something they just can't get past in their life. Our book today is What Does It Feel Like by Sophie Kinsella. And for those of you who haven't read a Sophie Kinsella book before, usually her books are lighthearted. They're romantic comedies and they're so very funny. Every time I read Can You Keep a Secret, I just can't stop laughing from cover to cover. This book is very different. It's a serious topic, yet it includes some of the elements that I love so much about this author. Relatable characters, emotional honesty, and engaging storytelling. And this book is based on the author's personal experience with illness. Let's move on to the story. Eve is a successful novelist and the mother of 5. Her and her husband Nick are happily married and have been for years. Eve wakes up in the hospital, but she doesn't remember why she's there, and that's not the only thing she's forgotten. What she learns from her husband is that she had surgery to remove a brain tumor. She also learns that Nick pretty much hasn't left her side the whole time she's been hospitalized. Now that she's recovering, she must relearn how to do nearly everything. And because her short-term memory has been affected, she forgets everything and must have it explained again. And while she's going through all of this, she maintains her positivity and reassures her family and guides them through this difficult experience. What Does It Feel Like is a novella. It's about 131 pages. You can read it in just a few hours. And while it does deal with serious topics, it is an uplifting read. I will caution you that if you or someone you love is experiencing an illness, you might want to think about whether you want to read it or not. It's not a depressing book, it is an uplifting book, but if you don't want to think about hospitals and illnesses and those things, you might want to wait till later on this one. So what can you read for a similar experience? I am going to start off by suggesting another Sophie Kinsella book, and it is Finding Audrey. This is a YA book, and it is about Audrey who cannot leave the house. She cannot even take off her sunglasses while she's in the house, and she doesn't think her life is ever going to change. But her brother's friend Linus comes into her life. He convinces her to leave the house with him, starting with visiting a coffee shop. Audrey begins to think she just might be able to make it back into the world. And this was the first Sophie Kinsella book I read where I felt like a bigger topic was being explored. The book is available on Cloud Library or as an audiobook in the KRLS system. Next is In Her Shoes by Jennifer Weiner. And this is the story of sisters Rose and Maggie. Rose is a successful lawyer hoping to be in a relationship with Jim, who is a senior partner at the law firm where she works. Rose is put together, she's professional, her attire fits her job as a lawyer. She loves designer shoes, and she has a lot of them. She buys them as rewards for herself, but she never wears them. Maggie views Rose as uptight and wishes that she would just lighten up. Maggie is Rose's opposite. She's gorgeous and irresistible. If she could get a lucky break, she would be a TV presenter or a singer or an actress. She lives in the moment. Rose sees Maggie as completely messed up. She wants her to settle down and grow up. When circumstances make them roommates, they reach the breaking point. Maggie moves out, moving to live with the grandmother she lost touch with. This is a story of family dysfunction and family love. So let's find out what I'm going to read next. So I'm going to look for a book that I've wanted to read for a while, that has a character struggling with something, and I think I'm going to look in the YA section. And I think I found one. So, about a year ago, I read the Agatha's series by Kathleen Glasgow and Liz Lawson. And since then, I have wanted to read their other books that they've written on their own. So in April, I read Murder Between Friends by Liz Lawson. And now I'm going to read a book by Kathleen Glasgow, and it is The Glass Girl. And this is another book that is partly based on the author's own experiences. Bella has a lot going on in her life, and she's trying to deal with her parents' divorce and all the demands that everyone is placing on her. She learns that the only thing that releases the stress she experiences is alcohol, which soon starts to take over her life. So I'm excited about reading this, and I'll be back later this week to talk about it with you. We've come to the end of another book video, and I will be back soon. I hope that you will join me then, and until then, I hope that you enjoy all that you do and all that you read. And thank you.